This is Dr. Robert Bates at Leominster Chiropractic Spine and Injury Center. Today we're going to discuss the vibratory plate that we use for rehabilitation. The vibratory plate was invented in Russia for the cosmonaut program originally, and actually they used it to increase bone mineral, to increase muscle mass, to double blood supply, and many other rehabilitation uses, so that when you went into space, when you atrophied, you came back, you weren't as bad. Presently, if you have back pain, it is recommended by most professionals to go through an extensive rehabilitation exercise program. As a matter of fact, if you have a pain problem or pain syndrome and you do not do exercise as part of your treatment program, it is not even considered a credible program with the literature that we know now. This particular unit can bring back musculature better than any way we know, especially for core stabilization in the low back.
The vibratory plate is an amazing piece of equipment originally invented in Russia, and it is very good for stretching because it doubles blood supply and also healing of damaged tissue since it doubles blood supply. It also increases growth hormone, increases strength and muscle mass, and creates much better coordination and balance by stimulating the central nervous system. So for rehabilitation, there is nothing better to increase stability in a safe manner when there is damaged tissue. This particular exercise here is used for warm-up with the straps or not, and it just doubles blood supply through all of the musculature all the way up to the neck before we begin exercise. The mechanism of the vibratory plate occurs by actually two motors that are balanced that are causing a vertical vibration of approximately 2 millimeters, and we run this at 30 hertz or 30 vibrations per second. So each time there is vibration, there is a stimulation of the musculature. This particular exercise is the lateral plank, and here we have her loaded with a 8-pound weight. This is a cross crawl pattern, which is very important since it stimulates the central nervous system and causes actual increase of information in, and because of neuroplasticity can develop new pathways for control. A lot of the low back damage and injuries today is not because of weakness, although that is usually evident to some degree, but it is an abnormal control where the smaller muscles and the core muscles and the multifidi and the slow twitch muscles don't actually control normal movement for the prime movers and larger muscles, which will cause stimulation and pinch tissue. That is your classical patient that throws their back out. In reality, they actually pinched tissue in their low back, usually at a facet joint, because of abnormal motor control and mild instability from chronic sitting and disuse and atrophy of musculature. This particular exercise is probably one of the most important you can perform to stabilize your low back, since it creates a control mechanism increase as well as strength. This is a type of stretching that we perform, very important for people that sit at a computer, since it causes a stretching of the tissue which constantly gets distorted. Actually, it is causing a stretching and or a reverse distortion of what occurs when you chronically sit at work. So this is a very important part of a lot of people's rehab at my office. The next particular type of thing we're seeing is a stretching. I use the strap to cause loading of the upper shoulder and neck musculature, and then do three types of stretching with the head in the lateral position. This stretches a lot of the musculature that becomes tight, again with chronic sitting at work. There has been a tremendous amount of literature in the last few years about the vibratory plate, and it It is an integral part of a good rehab program. I do not believe that anyone else in the area has a vibratory plate, and when you combine this with laser therapy and other types of therapy, as well as manipulation and stretching to restore normal coupled motions, you get phenomenal results with injured people. So don't hesitate to call and come in and take a look at what we have to offer, because we can fix problems that you may think are not fixable. Never hesitate to call me to discuss your problems at 188 Back Relief or 978-798-1853. I am always available to answer your questions. Have a great day and good luck.